Hello, everybody. We should be live. Welcome to the Nocturnal Feeding Show. Rack, I appreciate you sending everybody over. It was a great stream. Let me get in here. We'll say some hellos. We've got, now I can't get all the way back to the top. There's been a lot of good conversation going on, but from where I can start out, we've got Chewy LTD, Griffin Fish Room, Tampa Tom Fishing, Lance Jones, of course, Chattanooga Ed and myself in the chat, Griffin Fish Room, William Pridemore, Guppy Guru, Punchy Pinks, Fish Keeper Cold, Joe Coffee, John Larson, Lefty 3213A, Bob from Kaler's Aquatics, Moonstone is with us, Sherry Kramer, River Life. There's the hashtag shrimp rolling in. Thank you very much for that, Rack. Sending everybody over here to support Chattanooga Ed and myself. Lori Vinker, Case and K, Aloha Tanks, Fish Whisperer, Miles, HEPA Aquatics, Mr. Fish Sir, Brad, good to see you. Anthony's Fishy Friends, Jeffrey Watts, Jeremy Aquatics, and I think I made it to the bottom. I may have missed a name or two, but we have got some fun stuff in store for you all tonight. Ed has got a wonderful topic, and then I've got a little project we're going to work on during the stream, but I'll let Ed kick it off first with his idea.
Yep, well, and thanks, Rack, for doing the hashtag shrimp, because shrimp always make me smile. James and I were just talking about shrimp a minute ago.
Yep.
But what we're always thinking of different things to talk about. And I was like, you know what, James, let's talk about what we feed our fish. Because, I mean, there's like no true science to it. Everybody feeds their fish something different, and why we feed our fish with different things. And it's like, we always hear that it's good to feed your fish the best. Or some people say feed your fish a lot of different things, Oh, my cats are in here today and they're making noise. And so it's like, what do? Do you feed them a whole lot of stuff, or do you just feed them one thing? Like, my cats pretty much, I just feed them, I don't know what it's called. It's the cat food with no grain in it. And they eat lots of the Triscuits or some type of cat treat food. But other than that, I mean, my cats pretty much eat basically one thing, so why can't my fish? But I feed my fish basically the same thing. And so, James, what's your go-to food?
I don't.
And I'll show you mine. Like, you don't have a major thing?
I don't. Before I moved into the massive variety that I am in now, I guess my staple food would have been, if I could only pick one, it would be the Omega-1 Super Color Flakes.
That?
Yes, that.
Yeah. This is my number one. I feed the majority of my fish this. I mean, even the Beischer likes it. So it's kind of crazy. I'm like dropping bags of food all over. I got it sitting on a table or a chair, and it's all sliding out of the bag. But this is my go-to. This is what my fish get to wake up to every morning, is with this. And I'll tell you why I went with this, because like 25 years ago, a guy at a pet store said this would make the orange on my koi goldfish brighter. And you know what? I don't think it really does. But the fish like it, and that's why I go with it. Why do you use this stuff?
Well, I have noticed some help with like the red colors in a lot of fish. It may not have necessarily been from the food, but I will say years and years ago when I had red-bellied piranhas, they seemed to really brighten up on that stuff. Another thing is the product line. If I'm remembering correctly, the way that company started was basically like a fisherman type guy wanting to get fresh seafood into stuff, and a whole long story I won't get into, but it had a good backstory. I don't remember the whole backstory, but the way the company started, I liked it and could stand behind it. The fish, I've never had fish turn it down. Like you said, even the Beischers will eat it. Of course, guppies, you can smush it into powder for your fry. And I've in fact made fry food out of it by just taking it and grinding a whole bunch of it into powder and then putting it in a little shaker.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is how I feed all my guppies. I grind it up, and then I just That's I don't ever drop big flakes in. But then like my mollies, I literally take the biggest blob I can and just dump it in there because they go crazy over it. It's just a feeding frenzy for those guys. They like to get something meaty, I think. So that's my go-to. And I mean, you guys are more than free to say what you guys like also. But that's my number one thing. And James, have you ever tried the pellets?
I do. I enjoy the pellets, especially for the piranha. They will eat the flakes, but they really like the sinking pellets. And when they're not too crazy, sometimes I can get some of those down to the plecos a lot easier than I can the flakes. Making sure we're not missing anything in the chat.
Oh, for sure. Oh. And I like how it comes with a little spoon.
I've not seen the little spoon.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I've not seen the little spoon. I think you're pulling my leg.
When's the last time you bought one?
It's been a few months.
Oh, well, I don't know why I got little spoons in mine. Maybe 1 out of 10 comes with a little spoon.
Right.
I just get lucky. But I've got some little cichlids on the very top shelf in my hand. You wouldn't believe how much it shakes as I'm taking this little thing up there to drop in there. Oh my gosh. If a mouse ever got into my fish room, it'd probably be super happy because of the stuff that drops on the ground. My live bears don't really go for the pellets. I don't know if yours do, but the cichlids and the young bichers love this stuff.
Oh yeah, I feed that to my bichers as well. I haven't tried it with a lot of the live bears. Usually it's just the flakes, and right now I'm on to making my own concoction that includes that and the tetracolor granules and about 5 other different fish foods. That way there's a constant variety going in. But I love that stuff. And thank you. The Zen Ginger posted an Amazon affiliate link or a link to page 2 of my website that has a whole bunch of different products that I use and recommend. So if you're going to buy the stuff online, by all means, I appreciate you clicking on those links. I do get like a couple pennies off of it. So, that adds up. Of course, I always recommend that you support locally. But if you're going to buy online, buy it through my affiliate link. I appreciate it.
Guppy Guru asks, where do I get the large containers? As you can see, it's like got $17 on the side. That's a pet store. I like to get all my food from local pet stores instead of the big box stores. You can buy this at the big ones at PetSmart. I think they're like $15, but I'd rather give the $2 to the local guy and get it. But I say that, and I actually just bought a 10-pound container. And so I've got like 30 of these things filled right now with the 10 pounds. So that'll last me probably about a year.
What's the ounces on that packaging that you were holding up?
It is 5.3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. The 5.3 ounces, $14.85 on Amazon. Or you can do the 12-ounce bucket for $27.99 if you're going to buy online. Again, I
go farther.
Yeah.
No, I mean, seriously, Amazon sells 10-pound.
They do. They just don't have it under this particular listing. I didn't put that one on there just because most people don't go for the 10-pounder.
Well, but seriously, I bought 10 pounds for $150. Maybe it was $155.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, like, I was spending $17 for one container. And so that's like $50 for 3 pounds. So, I mean,
while we're talking about it. Yeah. So I see
1 pound.
I see the 5 pound on this one for $79.99. But yeah, so that right there is the size that Ed was holding up previously that you were asking about.
Yep. And it's probably, or is that's the flake also. This is maybe just, I never throw away any of my old bottles. So, I mean, this could be several years old, the plastic.
There we go. There's that button.
I still do support my local fish stores quite a bit, and that's with I didn't. Oh my gosh! My cats were trying to steal my plastic things, and I bet you he got one out. Oh, I see it on the floor.
Ed has left the building.
Yeah. Sorry, folks. I was fighting with Nico. He kept pulling these out of here, but I get the frozen food instead of bringing the frozen food up. Hikari,
Yep.
frozen shrimp. I feed that to my guppies. Now I also do the Daphnia when they have it. I've never tried the Cyclops, but I do this Daphnia, the brine shrimp, and then the standard bloodworms. But then I also do the jumbo bloodworms. And most pet stores, you have to ask them to start stocking the jumbos, and you won't believe how amazing they are.
They are awesome.
I mean, yeah, the fish by far love the big fat jumbo.
Oh yeah.
Bloodworm.
I don't even buy the regular ones anymore.
Well, I do for the guppies because they got such a small mouth. But the jumbos would be too big for the guppies. But for angels and everything else, all the cichlids love it. I was feeding it to the puffer for a little bit for the first 3 days, but she stopped eating it. Yep. Bob says you're welcome, Ed. That was all Bob Kaler telling me about the jumbos. And I'm hooked on them. I buy them in the case. And I don't even know how much one of these little bags cost. Or it's actually a little thing of squares. I buy it by the case. And my local pet store gives me a deal where it gives me 2 packets for free. So it's like $40 for 12 of them. It's a great deal. Super great guy. That's Aquatic Aesthetics. Hope I said that right. Aesthetics.
So a couple things in the chat. Mr. Fish Sir Brad had mentioned Fish from Fever. I have a hard time finding the pellet. I do have a link to that online as well. And I know you specifically said you had no LFS. So I'll just shamelessly say go click the Amazon link on page 2 of my website and you will not have a hard time finding the pellet.
Yep.
Let's see. We had a couple things. They weren't highlighted, but I think I can find them again.
If you do have a local fish store, buy your frozen foods from them.
Yeah,
definitely
I
do that.
So many flats of it. While I'm looking for this, I will say I love the Hikari Bio Pure brine shrimp with spirulina. I've got probably 4 flats of that at the moment. And then the jumbo bloodworms I get from them along with frozen baby brine and Daphne and things like that. Chewy LTD said Omega 1 is rated a little higher up here in Canada, but Spectrum tends to be rated higher, 7. If that Spectrum is the New Life Spectrum that I'm familiar with, I don't really care for that food. That's one that I didn't like, but that's just me, and opinions will vary. Hepa Aquatic says, gents, the rule of thumb is feed enough that the fishes eat within a few minutes. How well do you gauge that for, I'm assuming, instance on the tank behind you, James? So let me see.
That's a great question.
Yeah. Okay, I don't have an open one, but let me grab some open food real quick. Actually, you know what? We will just go ahead and feed them. I was looking for an open container of granules, but we'll just go ahead and feed them the flewable bug bites.
I forgot to
put in the place. So, with this particular tank, as many fish as there are, and they know it's coming, what I will normally do, and I do have to feed this tank a little differently. It's actually a 2-tank system for anybody that's not aware. There's an overflow right back there where you see that little bit of blue. So I try and get all of the food off of the surface before it gets sucked into that overflow. So generally what I will do is take a big fat pinch like that. And then I've got a power head back in here. So I usually try and get somewhere in that area and just kind of get it down in the water. And you're going, oh my God, look at all that food. But it's not going to be there that long. Close that light. Let's get rid of that light. And then I will also get some back in a couple of the little corners and caves for the plecos that are in there. I do have a Sultan pleco and 2 Medusa plecos in there.
Now, would you feed your catfish and plecos at night when the fish are going to sleep?
A lot of times I do. Like right now, with us live streaming, this light's going to be on for a while. But generally speaking, I'll drop. What I'm really liking for the plecos right now is something I hadn't tried before. And I feed them a variety too. But I'm really liking these bottom feeder tablets, amongst other things. I like a lot of tablets and wafers for the plecos. I feed the Omega-1 veggie rounds. Then I also like to feed, oh goodness, where are they? Sometimes I'll do the Tetra Shrimp wafers just because I bought like 30 or 40 of them back when they were $1 on Amazon. But I don't feed that a whole lot. There is a Hikari bottom feeder. It comes in one of the like foil bags. It's got an orange stripe on it. I like that one as well. And then my other thing is the actually like to feed the frozen brine shrimp and spirulina at night for the plecos. That's when I'll feed after lights out a lot. So the plecos can get on that. I found with the bristlenose, if I'm feeding that a few times a week, and they've got those caves in there that I like to use for them, I get all sorts of baby bristlenose.
Well, since we're talking plecos all of a sudden, I've got my aquarium box pleco stuff, and this is, I'm going to give you this bag so you can try it out.
Okay, well, thank you.
I don't have plecos. I used to have a blind fish. I had a blind tinfoil barb, and he used to just love. He was the only. I used to feed him these things all the time. And this is the North End ones, pleco chips. I mean, they look exactly the same.
Nice.
And he would be able to find this, and he would just eat these like crazy. But and I think they all were eating them. But when he passed away, they started eating the meat, and so they go after the bloodworms and stuff that the angels are going after. And it's really strange. I don't know if they were trying to protect him, or if because he was blind they were more skittish, or what the deal was. But now they're not skittish, or actually I had another one die. They are pretty old fish. I've had them for years, but I've got one left, and he's not skittish at all anymore. So, hey, Rack, thanks for joining us. And Big Tank Hank's here. Awesome.
We got all sorts of awesome people in here tonight.
Well, tell us about your the bug bites.
Okay, so
you just added up.
Yeah, I've got a couple different types of fluval food. This is one that I'm feeding a lot with the guppies. Sometimes I'll feed it to the angels, but I really like it for the guppies and the endlers and live bearers. It's one of the things that I've added in along with the Tetra granules and the Omega-1 flakes and about 4 other different guppy foods, so they get a big variety. And I feed it just the same as do the Omega-1 flakes, just crumble it up in there. I've got some fluval bug bite pleco sticks. They're not a wafer. They're just like a little, well, they look kind of like a cichlid stick. The fish seem to like them, but I don't really care for the way that they sink. They're a very slow sinker, and if you've got like guppy grass and stuff, it can be hard to get them down to the bottom past it. Whereas a lot of times the wafer's got enough weight and force that it goes through guppy grass, and the little noodle looking things just kind of, they'll hit one blade of guppy grass, just stop right there. And I'm like, no. So, but I mean, I really like the fluval foods. If I had to pick 3 brands, it would probably be, of course, Omega-1, Fluval, and Hikari would be my top 3.
Well, and so far that's what we've shown off, which is bizarre. But I got this at the Aquatic Experience 2 years ago, and you can see it's still pretty much full. None of my fish like it. I mean, everybody was bragging about this stuff like crazy. And, it was super nice that Flugel gave me this big thing. But now it's so old, I don't even want to really feed it to them. It fires November 2020, but it's been open, so I don't know. But yeah, I did though buy the flakes that you were just holding up from your local fish store. What's that?
Aquatic Marine.
Aquatic Marine. And I don't know what I did with them. I've never even tried it yet. I bought the two different types of flake, and haven't managed to feed them yet, which is terrible. But oh well. But you know what? Do you ever use this Omega one?
I have used the shrimp pellets once or twice. It's been a long time. I just generally find if I'm going to buy Omega 1 food, I just go for the other pellets, the super color pellets, and the super color flakes.
Well, my Cory cats love this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't drop it into my Cory cats in my Molly tank because the Mollies will pound it before it's got to get a little soft, for I think the Cory cats to eat it. But the stupid Mollies, they just, I don't know, they're like piranhas. They just devour everything that goes in the tank. So for those guys, I have to feed them at night, and I drop it in right before lights out.
Right.
The Mollies won't see it at the bottom, so it gives them something to eat. But in the guppy tanks, the Cory cats just go crazy over it. So I really recommend Omega 1 shrimp pellets for Cory cats.
They are a good pellet, but I found like a lot of times with feeding the tetracolor granules, that enough of that gets down to the bottom, because I kind of do the same thing with it. You do with the flakes, I pinch it, and so it gets everything from fine powder all the way up to full size granules. I've noticed that my panda Corys really, really like that stuff. So it's almost like, well, I just feed a little bit extra on that, and the Corys get some, and they're happy with it. But I know they do they've always enjoyed shrimp pellets anytime I've thrown them in there. So yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah, I've never used tropic color granules.
Yeah. Well, it was, of course, Lucas Brett swears by them. And then Bob Steamfot had posted them at one point where they were like $4 or $5 for the big can of them. So I think I bought one, and I liked it, and they were still on sale. So I bought like 5 more. I think I've got 3 on the shelf still. Guppy Guru said, Fish Room Fever in Chattanooga. Ed, you guys need to do all your fish food pick like we did last week. Super fun to see it all at once. I saw that, Guppy Guru, and I thought about it, but I've got at least 50 containers of fish food, and I just don't have any place to stack it all up and nor take the time, because now I have tanks in 5 rooms, technically speaking. But I have the 2 fish rooms, the hallway, tank in the living room, and then now a tank in the bedroom. And so I have like certain things in certain areas. It's like, okay, because I have multiples of a lot of stuff. So I'll keep like 1 can of tetracolor granules in each room. That way I don't have to go hunting it down. I'll keep, where I've got multiple bags of stuff, keep 1 in each room so I don't have to go find it. It's like, oh, I want to feed in this room. Let me go to the other room and get the food. No, I'll keep 1 in every room. I just didn't want to gather it all up.
So did Guppy Guru just do a stream about food?
They did. I know that they had pictures on Instagram where they had all their fish food stacked up and took pictures of it.
I'm sorry, Peter, if I'm stealing your idea. I didn't see that, but it was a great idea.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be fun just to talk about it with James and with you guys, what we do and what you guys do, and maybe get some ideas from each other. I was gonna stack it up like, I don't know if anybody's seen Good Mythical Morning. That's what we should do, is have, because they keep like best food to weakest food for everybody, and they have like 5 or 6 different things where they would test it, and that would be fun. Oh well, next time. That'll be it in July.
I forgot to turn one of these lights off, and it's making it flicker, and it's annoying me.
Oh, that's all right.
There we go.
James, I also use one other frozen food. Well, there's the brine shrimp, the jumbos, the normal bloodworm, and the Daphne. I also use giant krill now, and I just started doing that. But our jumbo krill, and that's for my puffer, and that's like the sheets where you got to break it.
Yep, I've got that.
And she doesn't like. She only eats stuff that's floating, and if it hits the bottom, she won't eat it. Or if it's like a half of a shrimp, she won't eat it. So, so it's like, oh, somebody already chewed on that. So those all go into the Beischer tank, where I've got a big Synodontis that loves it, and I'm sure the Beischer eats it, and it's even fun to see the Geophagus will pull apart the stuff. So it just works out really good.
Yeah, so I've got a sheet of that. I probably won't be buying any more. I've used it in the past, and it's good stuff. But the fish that I currently have don't really care for it. My red belly piranhas loved it. These Caribe piranha, not so much. And the issue that I've found with it, like even when I'll feed it to the Oscars or whatnot, or try to get the Beischers to eat it, is it's almost like when you go to feed the freeze-dried brine shrimp and you've got to get it in the water and smush it so that it absorbs some water and doesn't float. And that's just really annoying, especially going into that particular tank. If I try and feed it in the big Beischer tank where it's got the overflow set up, I've got to get it to sink before the flow kicks it up into that overflow. Otherwise, it's just food that's going and rotting on the filter floss, and I've got to get in there and pull it off as soon as I feed it. So, but it is good stuff.
Is that the Hikari?
It is, yeah.
See, I was going to ask you about that if you'd ever used it, because it comes like a little square of dried up brine shrimp, right?
Well, that one is.
Can you break it up?
I have to find the jar. That particular one of the freeze-dried brine shrimp is not a Hikari. That's somebody else. But it's just a mushy little cube, and it's just basically full of air. And if you toss it in there, it just kind of floats for a minute. But the frozen krill is Hikari brand. And of course, I feed a monster mix and silver sides to the saltwater eel.
I'm thinking tube worms or tube effects by Hikari.
Yeah, I've not used them, but I've heard good things about them.
Yeah, I was thinking about trying that. Maybe somebody in the chat used it. I was thinking about trying that with my guppies just as a little something fun, and grind it up. Because like you were saying, it gets into your filter floss. Well, I just have sponge filters with my guppies.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, let's go to one. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Go.
I was just saying, Chewy LTD says the Omega-1 freeze-dried Daphne has great crushed up for guppies. It sounds like that would be a good one. You see, Kaylor's Aquatic says, Ed, Rob just posted his unboxing video. Can't wait to see if all the big order came in. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow to pick up Monica's betta. And I said betta for y'all. But if we weren't live, I'd probably say beta.
Right.
I'll mail it out to her tomorrow. I'm going to pick it up. And I was going to take it to the Hickson post office, but I think I'm going to bring it back to my post office because I just like Our Ladies better.
Right. Lefty3213A says, I love the tube effects by Hikari at Fish Room Fever. You can just kind of smush it on the side of the tank and they will pick at it. Zen Ginger says, I use tube effects with my goldfish babies, but never tried it with guppies. And Bob Kaler Green said, yes, Lefty, love that. Hello, Ro. Hello, Tim.
Hey, my brother's here. And hi, Ro.
Got a lot of good people in here. Several other people have come in. But yeah.
Here's I didn't bring up the box, but some Sarah O tabs are another thing that you can stick on the side. And these things are treats. Basically, when I give my cats a treat, this is like a treat for fish. I mean, I don't know if fish ever get full, but when you put this in, it's like they're eating candy. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
I don't know if you could ever put enough in there to fill them. But like when I go out of town, I put Ziploc bags on my different fish tanks with tape and put some food in each one to say, okay, dump this in there. And then I say, stick one of these in each tank as you're leaving and turning the lights off. Because that's awesome.
Nice and easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I enjoy them. They're also really great if you're trying to get video or photographs of the fish to try and get them to stay in one area. And they're also good for, like in my mutt guppy tank, I've been pulling all the fry and moving them into the bottom tank beneath this. Um, so I'll stick one over in the corner and that'll bring the fry out. But yeah, Sarah's got some really good foods. I don't like, or Corey had mentioned this also, where they're going to this natural um, makeup, we'll call it. And the new ONIP tabs tend to break apart really, really quick or dissolve quick and get a lot of particulate everywhere. Um, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, like when I put an ONIP tab on, even you'll see the plecos will come up to the glass right below. So you'll have the guppies and the babies and the plecos, and everybody's trying to get at that ONIP tab.
Yeah, and I would rather have the ONIPs that last forever, but I could definitely see the potential of it breaking up the fry and maybe even the rice, or the rice fish. Things with little bitty mouths.
Yes, there we go. Candy said it. Formula. That's the word I was looking for. The new natural formula.
Okay, well, and talking about, since we're on Sarah.
And Lefty actually said it too. Yep.
This stuff, I don't know if anybody's even heard of this stuff.
Nature.
But it is really weird. It looks like flakes on video, but when you look at it right here, it looks like sawdust. Oh, man. Well, so much for that. But hopefully it is more like sawdust. Dumped it on my keyboard. But the fish, this is like treats for the fish also. I don't know if they can fill up on it. And when I put it in the tank, it doesn't even look like fish food. It just goes all over the place like sawdust. But they eat it all. So, and I got this in a My Aquarium box. And I definitely I use it. I just don't use it all the time just to be kind of different, for the fish. But I think I've gotten like 2 of these over the year, maybe, or over the 2 years that I've been doing it. So maybe I get one every 12 months. I like this stuff, and I don't even know if you can buy it at stores.
So
I would have.
I will say, and I'll segue into it naturally. I'll start with saying that I did get some Sarah shrimp foods in my most recent order from petzotics.com. I really like that stuff. It's little pellets. That being said, I also got some Aqueon shrimp foods, and they are a wafer, but they're a little bit too big, in my opinion. Even with a good-sized colony, they seem to hang around too long and just be too much food, or maybe the shrimp just don't like it that much to eat it all up. So I'm not really caring for the Aqueon shrimp wafers currently. But other than that, I really don't find a lot of foods that I just don't like. Yeah, especially like I said, Hikari, Omega-1, and sorry, I'm looking at all my foods trying to see if there's anything that I don't care for.
Here, I've got something that the fish don't care for right here. And my local pet store, Aquatic Aesthetics, he sold it to me for half price because he doesn't have any fish that like it either. So it's the cobalt. And I've on the screen, it's got the chat bar, so I can't really see if I've got everything. So maybe I'm always leaning over here. I bought both of these, and fish aren't touching it. They talk about how they have medications in the food, and maybe if you had sick fish, you might try to use it, and if this is all they had to eat, they would eat it. I know I've seen a couple people say they won't eat the blue flakes, which is the medicated flakes, but I actually found this is the best cobalt. My fish love the green cap cobalt, and they eat the blue flakes. So, I mean, and my pet store doesn't have this stuff. They just had these 2 type. And I was going for something with a lot of spirulina in it because I wanted to feed it to my American flagfish because they like to eat a lot of vegetation. So I went in his store, and these two had the most spirulina he had in the store there, and they were a no-go. So I don't know if you've tried these guys, maybe.
Oh yeah, he said they're on the phone for you. They're mad that you don't like their food. Lefty three.
The green lid, I highly recommend. And I got my first one. They gave this to me as a deal at the Aquatic Experience. When I went to the Aquatic Experience, I loaded up on food. So
don't blame you.
And they were smart to give me the stuff that the fish like. But don't buy the stuff that doesn't say ultra without a green lid. Buy ultra with the green lid.
Gotcha.
And they'll eat it. But unfortunately, I don't see it in big containers either, which is a bummer.
Lefty 3213A says, anyone feed the API foods? My fish like the tropical greens flake and the bottom feeder pellets and algae eater wafers at Fish Room Fever. I have not fed the API foods, but I'm sure we've got some people in here that do. See, Jeffrey Watt says, I use frozen bloodworms as treats. There's Bob saying Cobalt was on the phone for you.
Okay.
You see. Well, so fish streams. Sorry, go ahead.
Flugel might be upset with me too, because like I said, everybody loves these bug bites, and my bugs don't like it. My guppies don't like it. They put this pellet in their mouth and they spit it out. Even the mollies spit this out. My mollies eat everything, but I got a full bag of this because they don't eat it. So I can't wait to use the flakes because hopefully that'll work out.
So Fish Stream has made an observation, which is the same observation I made when we switched over here. But Fish Stream says Ed needs to be on the left if it's his stream, just an observation from a viewer. Until he gets more tech savvy, that will not work, and I will show you why.
Yep.
Because it's my program run off of my computer with his account name on it. It automatically puts me on the left. So until he wants to run the stream from his computer, it is stuck this way, unfortunately. But I do agree with you, Fish Streams. We tried that the very first time when we swapped over to his channel with the show, and I was like, nope. They're going to put me there no matter what I do.
But you see, honestly, like Rhett and Link. Link is always on the left and Rhett is always on the right. And I don't care where I'm sitting. And I don't care who's leading as long as we're having fun and hanging out. So
yeah, well, no, I agree with what she's saying from an observational standpoint and a production standpoint. However, I also do agree that it's been both our shows since like the second episode when you agreed to stay on and do it with me. We just simply moved it over here because it could help your channel, and we want to get you subscribers and watch time and all that good stuff. So, but no, I agree with you. Let's see. Okay. Kason K Aloha Tank says, how much of the shrimp's diet is made up of picking up scraps and algae? Probably a good bit. I mean, they are constantly going around pecking and picking and sifting and moving. So
they also, though, eat their own shells too. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to find any shrimp husks. I think that's what they call it, is a shrimp husk.
You can, yeah. Because
they shed their skin just like everything else, and you don't see them all over the tanks because they like to eat it for the calcium, I believe, that's in it.
Yeah.
And, they eat everything. I mean, you name it, they eat it. They're awesome.
Moonstone says, Fish Room Fever, my shrimp won't touch the Aqueon. Yeah, mine don't seem to care for it. I think I might have gotten them spoiled on some of the other stuff, but we're going to give it a try with some other shrimp.
Shrimp mulch.
Yeah, so I think we addressed that for Fish Streams. It's kind of a mutually shared stream, but it is hosted on Ed's channel now.
Hi, Monica.
Not that I didn't enjoy it on my channel, but we wanted to help Ed out, so we are here.
And I appreciate that. And but I still, it's just fun to hang out with James. But I don't know if Monica is here or just showed up, but Monica, the major thing in tomorrow's plans is to get your fish to you tomorrow. So that'll be cool. That'll be fun. But let's go to another one of my favorites is the Aquarium Co-op fry food. I put that right up here. I mean, Omega 1 is number one. This is Omega 1 was what is a runner up for my name on my bowling shirt. So, but the fry food, man, this stuff is awesome. It's like powder. I drop it into the tanks, and the guppies love it. The fry eat it, of course, but the adults eat it. It works great for Pam's Daisy Rice Fish. You know, when Pam first used to say they're Daisy Rice Fish, I thought she got them from a YouTuber named Daisy. It's so crazy. But, yeah, Pam, so I prefer to just call them Pam's Rice Fish. But they love it, and it's not nearly as smelly as feeding them microworms. So highly recommend this. James and I are literally going to be buying the 1 pound bag tomorrow and splitting it. And I mean, this bottle lasts forever. I mean, I've been feeding it for probably 3 months now, and you can barely see. But I'd like to feed more of it to my other fish. But since I got the rice fish, it's been kind of mainly for the rice fish. So I'd like to start giving that more to my guppies again. But James, you have a favorite fry food?
If you're gonna buy in bulk, you can go to the dollar store and get 2 of these for $1. So
yeah,
there we go.
And is Candy here? She could post a link. Oh, there she is.
Yeah,
Candy,
she got a link for us.
Oh, she did. Okay, because
yes,
I was gonna say, I think it's $9.99 or something like that for the bottle, but for a pound in the plastic bag, which is going to make a huge mess, it's like $25, I think. I mean, that's just such a savings. Pretty cool. Okay.
Make sure I didn't miss anything. I feel like I missed a couple things. Biggest thing that I want to push is to hit the like button. We're not on my channel, so I don't feel bad saying that because we need to support that guy right there. So smash that thumbs up, please. Let's help Ed out. He deserves it.
You know, that's something that I never, ever say is make sure you like and subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
And like when I did my one big video with the Corey, when I dressed up like Corey's Murphy, I wish I would have said, make sure you hit that sub. And I didn't care about the likes, but the subs would have been nice. I can't believe I didn't say it. Oh, well. I would love to do that over, because like the first 2 seconds of that video is like, I was like, and then because I kept resetting my computer or my phone when I was shooting that video, and I wish I would have done a little editing on that. But oh well.
It is what it is. You never know what's going to take off. I mean, and that's something that just about anybody that puts videos out is you take and make what you feel is an amazing video, you pour your heart and soul into it, and it bombs. And then you put what you feel is a piece of junk out or is nothing special, and it takes off. I mean, my best performing video that I've made is 2 minutes of god awful background music with no talking, no text, and just the piranhas eating. And it's my best performing video, and I hate myself for it because it was one that I did for like right back at the beginning of the channel. But I'm glad it took off. But it's like, why? Out of everything, no effort involved.
Oh well. Well, I've had beta like my whole life, except for the last couple of years, which is kind of weird. I haven't been doing them, and I've like literally yesterday I was telling the kid while Bob was interviewing that guy that I was going to get a couple of those beta, and then Monica fell in love with the one that I was going to buy, which is funny, but I don't want to put the beta with my guppies just because the fancy guppies males are as slow as the beta, and I don't want an angry beta getting my guppies. But I do plan on putting them in with like the American flag fish. They will be fine with me. They'll be fine with my platies. If they eat a couple platies, the platies eat more babies than the beta will, or betta. And I won't put them in with my mollies just because my mollies are too crazy. But I'm going to put them in a couple of the tanks because I absolutely love them. But I did, and I've just fed them the omega-1 flake food, really, or bloodworms, and the small bloodworms for them. But I did get this stuff from my aquarium box.
Okay.
Now, and I can't testify, it's like I've never even opened this. I can't say that wouldn't have that been a killer if I would have dumped that on my keyboard? Well, I can hear it's a little, I don't know where my mic is on here. I can hear it's a little pellet.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a lot of people talking about pellets are really bad for betas?
Possibly. I hadn't heard it, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen. Dragon Lair says, Fish Room Fever, you missed what I said about the Sarah shrimp pellets. Adjust my chat here so I can actually read that. Stiphodon gobies and hillstream loaches love them, as do my bristle nose. Sorry, I missed that before, Dragon Lair. But yeah, I'm really liking the Sarah shrimp pellets. I've not had any issues out of them. Make sure I didn't miss anything else. I think Ro was asking about live streams. Ro, if you want to do a live stream, I think that would be awesome. I will tell you, just like I've always said from the very beginning when I had no subscribers, if you want a live stream, do a live stream. If people like what you're doing, they'll show up. And sometimes they'll show up even if they don't like it. They're just bored. But yeah, absolutely. If you want to do live streams, go for it.
Oh, yeah. And Monica, don't worry about it because, see, I go into his pet store all the time. So he's always getting in new ones. So I'll just get one. And if he has some tomorrow, maybe I'll get 2 for myself tomorrow. So it's all cool. It'll be fun to ship a fish. But has anybody heard, is it bad to feed pellets?
We've got a couple things in the chat. Lefty3213A says, depends on the size of the betta pellet at Fish Room Fever. Some are too big and harder for them to digest. Mr. Fish Sir says, I heard pellets were good for betta at Fish Room Fever. And Monica Lynn says, Ed, just give the betta small frozen bloodworms and the Hikari betta pellets.
Yep. And I always keep I keep the small bloodworms also. So I'll be giving them a good diet of that. But so I do have, and I don't know if you can hear, but it sounds like it's pretty small. And then I've got a whole lot of my aquarium box foods. I don't know if anybody's, Mike Guppy Guru. It's good to have you here, Peter.
Peter, have a good one. Appreciate you hanging out with us.
Before he goes, and maybe he already did, there's a guy in Salt Lake City that has a whole bunch of rams. And I don't know if you'd be looking to sell those on your website or not. But if so, I could give him your email, or you could give me yours and I'll give it to him and you can talk to him. Okay. Every week or every month I get a new My Aquarium box food. Mm-hmm. And this, the earthworm flakes, has been hands down the best. And honest, one thing, Guppy Guru, I don't know if they're good rams. You'll have to check because I've never even seen them. I just somehow talked to the guy's wife playing a video game. Okay, but the earthworm flakes, all my fish love. And I wish he would send more of these. I think they kind of go through their rotation, so you only get 1 bag a year. But I love this stuff. And then this is a ram flake. And I don't know if you can see how small those pellets are, but that might be good for betas. Honestly, don't know. It's a microgromic is what it's called. But
So we pulled Jay's Crazy Obsessions out of lurk mode. Says, please tell me the guy in SLC is named Mark. Guy in Salt Lake City.
Ooh, honestly, I don't know. His last name, I believe, is Larson. So if that helps. Was that Guppy Guru who said that, or who said that?
That was Jay's Crazy Obsessions.
Oh, okay, cool.
Moonstone, have a wonderful night. Sorry your head's hurting from the webinar, but go enjoy some Netflix, and we will see you on the next go round. Thank you for hanging out with us, Kim.
Yep. Night-night, Moonstone. She's such a cool person.
She is.
And I don't know. Bob just said, all Monica I know that Ed won't accept. So I'll go with whatever Bob said. Oh, yeah, you don't have to pay me back. Don't worry about that. But, I mean, I really get quite a bit of stuff. They've given me these black larva soldier one. The fish love these things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're kind of gross because it's basically, I think, dried up fish larva or fly larva, but they love it.
That's the number one ingredient in the fluval bug bites.
Yeah, the black soldier fly larva.
Yep.
So, I mean, my aquarium box has a lot of goodies in there. So they're not just a great place to get stuff to put in your tank for your dark water. What am I trying to say? Dark tank. Oh gosh, help me out.
Blackwater tank.
Yeah, blackwater tank. But you can get
so funny because it's brown, but yeah, that's
yeah. You're right. Or kind of a yellowish hue.
Yeah. Bob Kaler talking about another example of opinion isn't fact. You know, Bob, I agree with you 100%. So don't think that I'm mocking you when I say this, but I really think that you should have a Kaler's Aquatic segment that's opinion isn't fact. Here's my opinion.
That's awesome. That would be great. You know what? If you want, we could videotape like your opinion for 5 minutes, and then we'll play it in the middle of our show once a week, if you want. I want to do something goofy.
DNA Aquatics. Hey, Melvin. Oops, sorry, Ed.
Nope. Hey, Melvin got a new symbol. It looks pretty cool.
Jay's Crazy Obsessions was asking, are my aquarium boxes still going out?
Yes. I get mine generally on the 15th of every month. And it hasn't slowed down at all. I feel bad because Greg Jones is now doing it all on his own. And I know that it was originally like a 4-man team. And he's had to give up his whole YouTube channel. So I think I know that he's supposed to be working, and he got a new job, which took up a lot of his time. And then he ended up also doing the boxes. So the poor guy. And I loved his videos. Greg Jones, if you go back and look at his stuff, he's the reason why I want to get a greenhouse so bad. He had a beautiful greenhouse put in his backyard with a pond, and he was redoing his fish room. And haven't heard from him in months, so it's kind of a bummer. Oh, well, Rack is good friends with those guys, so he might be able to tell you everything I just said.
Case and K Aloha Tank says, does anyone do more than a 50% water change on a shrimp tank, 10 gallon to 20 gallon? I generally do not. The only instance I have ever done that is once or twice, just recently. And it was only with one shrimp in the tank, and that was only because it was brand new substrate that has a tendency to have an ammonia spike the first day or two. So just bringing that down, testing to see if the water was safe with that one shrimp in there. Priscilla, no, I did not get my shrimp. UPS delayed them, said they were supposed to arrive late today, never showed up. So still waiting. But no, generally I do much less than that. And where was it? River Life mentioned how much he changes. There we go. Says I change much less, 10%, only half as often as fish tanks. Yeah, I really don't do hardly any water changes on the shrimp tanks. Usually there's so much plant life going on in there. That the top offs seem to keep everything in good shape. Maybe once a month I'll come through and do a small water change just to kind of remineralize everything, if you will. But I'm really aiming for a well balanced setup for the most part.
Yeah, the only reason why I would do it is if there's too much tannins and you can't see the shrimp.
Yeah.
I mean, because shrimp like it dirty. They're cleaners. You know, it'd be like putting, what is it, OCC? Is that, what's the people that love to clean all the time? It'd be like putting one of them in a room with no dirt. You know, I mean.
Oh, you're talking about OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder.
Yeah, like, you know, a person that loves to clean nonstop and putting them in a perfectly shiny, clean room. You know, thank you, everybody's helping me out. But yeah, the shrimp love it dirty, so let them be dirty. And I mean, it's hard to get a shrimp tank dirty, honestly.
Yeah, unless you have got a reason to be doing that water change, case in point, you're testing parameters and you find something out of whack. You know, you need to bring the nitrates down, or you're having some sort of spike on a new tank or something along those lines. And yeah, I see you, Priscilla. We'll get to that clarification here in a second.
Yep.
You really don't have to do a whole lot of water changes with at least the Neocaridina shrimp that I have kept. In my opinion, what I've observed from my experience, you don't really have to do water changes fairly often with them if you've got a well-balanced system. And then Priscilla, where did it go? She was saying, oh, there we go. Priscilla MK says she took the art off. That's throwing me off. I'm so used to saying Priscilla MK art. Shrimp don't like it dirty. They like microorganisms.
Yep. But microorganisms like it dirty. So I think they like it dirty. But hey, it's all opinions, right?
Right.
And Priscilla's pretty smart, so I'm not going to ever say she's wrong. But I think I'm right.
I'm just going to say opinions aren't facts.
Yeah. Come on, Bob. But gosh, I forgot where I was. Oh, I saw Lefty. You know, and Lefty said, check your Facebook messages, and I will. And I want to tell you, Lefty's been amazing in our Project Basilia competition this month. And let's give it a plug, too, while we're here. Just in case anybody doesn't know what Project Basilia is, it is the celebration of live bearers of the, is it class?
Basilia genus.
Genus. Okay. Of guppies, indlers, and mollies. And I don't know if there's anybody else that sneaks in there or not. But nevertheless, I'm not going to go that far into it. But we have 3 different major categories. And this is a free-for-all competition. Everybody's allowed to compete in one of each of these 3 categories. The first one is photos. So you can take a photo of any I almost went shrimp, any Basilia that you want, and it can be yours, it can be James, it can be the Georgia Aquarium. You can go wherever you want and get your photo of it, and you can do anything you want to it. So you can dress it. Oh, yep.
I was just going to say, if you're going to come take pictures of my fish, you might want to talk to me first. Let me throw that warning out there while you're telling people to come photograph my fish.
You hear that, Shy? I'm just messing with you. Okay, but yeah, so you can do whatever you want as long as it's you taking the photo. So that's the number 1 category. And I'm going to talk about sponsors after we're done with the categories. The number 2 competition is videos. You can make a video. You can play it on YouTube. You can play it on Instagram. You can upload it to Facebook. You just have to tag it with Project Basilia, correct, James? And then you also have to put it on
Basilia entry, if you're talking about the contest.
Okay. Thank you. Basilia entry. And then also it would probably help to let us know on Facebook if you didn't post it on Facebook. But it's got to be 3 minutes or less. And you can run with that video any way you want, and we'll judge it among all the videos. And it's basically the exact same thing as the photos. You can dress it up any way you want. Just make it yours. And then the third and final category is the art category. And I mean, we know that video and photography is art of itself, but this is all the other medias. So you can do dance, clay, paper mache, wood carving, you name it. Costumes. So anything you want, you can do in that category. And then that's the three major categories. From those three categories, there's a river life choice. And this will be judged by Rack from River Life, and only Rack from River Life. And it's what one of those three things, and not just the category, but individual thing from those three categories, gives him the inspiration, or wait, what? How did he say it? Gives him what makes him think. Cecilia, I don't know.
Like you said, the most inspiring or community moving.
Maybe. Well, he gets to pick that one, and then the final one will be the Grandmaster Champion. And that one will be the best overall voted on by the judges of the top three. And we've got lots of wonderful sponsors.
Unfortunately, we've got like 15 or 20 prizes at this point.
Yeah. We're going to do whatever we can do, we can ship out of the country, we'll do. So the categories can be won, from if you're in Australia, you can still win any of the categories. And everybody will get a certificate that was donated by DBK, which is amazing and awesome looking. And if it's live stock, we can't send it out of the country, some of the donations. So we're sorry about that, but it's just the way the laws are. We all understand it. But Exotics is donating 3 packages of plants for the top 3 categories. Priscilla, she's an amazing artist. Priscilla does everything. But she's also an amazing artist, and she's going to be donating a drawing of your favorite fish to the Grandmaster Champion. Bob is going to donate a pair of his beautiful guppies. Not a pair, I don't know, maybe a trio or a pair. I'm not for sure if it was 2 or 3.
They're going to get lost at shipping anyways and end up in my tank. So no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. Guppy Guru is making an amazing trophy for the Grandmaster spot. I know Fishkeeper Cole's talked about donating something. James and I are both going to be donating stuff. I'm sure I'm missing somebody. Then if you can help me out and tell me who I'm missing. But nevertheless, it's going to be awesome and a lot of fun. Oh, James is about to start escaping his fish tank, and I think this is this the tank that you got in Maryland at the big fish deal?
Yep, that's the tank for the big fish deal. I figured we're a little past halfway through. It's about time I either get on it or I'm going to be up all night after the stream.
Yeah,
not all night, but I'm going to be up after the stream doing it.
Okay. Lefty thinks that's everyone with a little question mark. So I'm terribly sorry if I missed somebody. DPK is also in that list again, but Guru's Trophy, Cole is Chola Wood. Did I say it? Did I pronounce that right? Chula?
We're just gonna go with it. It's Choya, but it doesn't matter. Okay. It's like Beta Beta. You'll be all right.
Thanks. Hey, it's free. Bob and Diego is Petzotics. So.
Yeah, if you don't like the way he says it, you can't win it.
Yeah, you lose my vote. Holy cow. the power of that. All of a sudden, my speech all of a sudden doesn't matter anymore. But okay, and Rack is going to be donating some form of art to whoever wins his category, and Rack is River Life. So see, and I'm sure we're probably forgetting somebody else, and I totally apologize.
Well, I think we're working on getting a listing, like a banner or something on the Facebook page.
That's awesome.
We've got much cooler people that understand the whole Facebook thing. I'm good at a lot of platforms. Facebook is not one of them, but fortunately, we've got wonderful people like Guppy Guru and Lefty3213A and the Zen Ginger that have been working hard on the Facebook platform.
Yeah, so the time that those three have put into it is a donation alone. I mean, they've been amazing.
Oh, and that's what it was about. Is it was about building community, and it most definitely has. I don't think I've seen anything else where this many people have all come together on one project and said either, "Hey, I want to help," or "Hey, let me donate something to the cause." There's no money being made out of it. We're not saying, "Hey, go to this person's whatever and spend money." It's just a community effort to spread the love and raise awareness of how awesome these little fish are. But
Lefty just said he's just typing everything we just said. I hope he didn't misspell everything I said to make it sound accurate.
Well, if he's typing it all up, then Lefty is going to send me 3 trios of guppies. And sorry, never mind.
Oh man, yeah, Lefty has some crazy awesome guppies too.
Yeah, he does. If you're not following Lefty on Instagram, I highly recommend you do. And he's also started putting out videos as well.
Oh, that's awesome, man! I gotta get on that. I gotta see some of those. Tonight I'm going to be going to bed early so that way I can wake up early because I'm doing the beta run, but maybe tomorrow. Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to talk about another stream real quick.
Of course, it's hiding.
Oh, you got a beta in there?
I do.
That's a pretty... I was with him when he got that thing. Oh, there goes. Ooh, it's kind of a Chiefs color.
It's a glow beta.
It's a glow beta?
It is, but I don't do the whole glow light thing.
Well, it looks like a Chiefs beta because it looks yellow and red to me.
Yeah, it is.
Well, they've totally mislabeled this thing. There should be a Super Bowl champion fish. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they couldn't get the rights to the Chiefs or the NHL or something and give it to them. But, oh, man, I digress. Tomorrow night at 2:30 a.m. is Anthony's. Is Anthony's Fish Room? Anthony's Aquatics? How's Anthony's?
Anthony's Fishy Friends? Anthony's
Fishy. How did I
think.
Oh, there he is.
Guessing.
Yeah, no, it is.
Fishy Friends, okay.
And every time I read that, it makes me laugh inside. But Anthony's Fishy Friends will be having a stream at 2:30 Eastern Time, which is like 11:30 his time. And he's going to have a trivia competition. And the punishment is a drink off. And you have to take shots.
I'm out.
And I've been invited. I don't drink non-socially, but I guess this would be socially. I also I hate shots because I hate the taste of liquor. So I generally like drinks like pina coladas if I drink. And but my brother's in the chat. My brother went to school to be a bartender at one point. My brother's been to school for everything. But I was going to talk to him. I tried calling him earlier today because I needed a shot that doesn't taste terrible. So that's why I called earlier, Tim. And after the stream, I will be calling you because I have to also go by, I guess, the liquor store and get something that won't make me barf. But if it's trivia, hopefully I won't have to take any shots. I'll just know all the answers. But yeah, so there was my plug for Anthony's Fish Friends. And I don't know who else he has invited. I know that it's Anthony and I. Oh, and I bet you it's Jesse from CH Aquatics. Is that Jesse's?
HC Aqua.
HC Aquatics.
Can you still hear me all right here?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Oh, is Priscilla going to be in it? Priscilla would have no problem putting down that many shots. So, just having fun. So now, are you going to put all the scaping stuff that that we got in Maryland? Or
So
are
I
you going
want to stick with that piece of wood, which is the original piece, and then I've got these 3 rocks here, which are from the original scape. The plants are going to be different, though. I'm finding the plants just did not do well in here, even with that special planted substrate from Aqueon that was provided. So I'm going to try some other things. Also, it was on remineralized RO water because that was what was recommended for the shrimp that I had in here at one point, and they all died. So we're going back to tap water, which is what I prefer anyways. I've not had any issues after that. And there's, of course, one little piece of duckweed. That's all you need to take over. But yeah, so I'm going to, I think, go with the same 3 rocks and a piece of wood and some new plants. Got a bunch of different plant options. I've got Crypt, some Anubias Nana, goodness, a whole bunch of different stuff to play with. I'm going to try and keep up with the chat at the same time, but it looks like you've got your glasses with you, so that'll help too.
For a minute there, I was going to say, are you going to why don't you try to escape it like mine it was, so that way you'll have a winner.
Yeah, this isn't a crab boat one.
I'm just teasing.
I know.
I was actually, we were talking about this before the stream. I may sculpt mine next week on live because when we drove back home, it was in the back of my truck, and everything that was built up got leveled out, and mine's just sitting there level, and I need to make it pretty again.
I will, however, do a shameless plug, though.
Yeah, go for it.
Sunday, Pet Tech will be releasing his weekly scheduled video, which will be yours truly and him doing an aquascape on his channel. I will have part 2 on my channel coming out Monday with the end result filled tank and stopped. The members got to see a sneak peek of that earlier today. I posted a picture. So there's my shameless plug.
No, that's a great plug. Sean Peck is an awesome guy with Pet Techs. He does a lot of the sculpting, but he's also really big into not video gaming, but board gaming, which I love. And so he's one of my good buddies, and I like playing games with him. And so looking forward to playing games with him. And like my brother's in here, and I want to try to get Sean and my brother and my sister-in-law all together, and we'll play a big game of Cthulhu Must Die next time my brother comes down here to Chattanooga, because I cannot wait to do that. And if you guys are friends with Sean on Facebook, I don't know if Sean has an open Facebook, so maybe I shouldn't be plugging it, but he has amazing photos, or not photos of his art that he's painted of his game board, like his pieces. It's just awesome, and I know that my brother will be amazed. You know, it'll be just a lot of fun. And what is Nico doing? No, my cat is trying to open the bags of fish food. He just, I don't know if he can smell it or he likes to eat the plastic. But
grab some plates real quick.
Yep. Oh boy, now tomorrow night in Anthony's live stream, he says the first round. So I think this is going to be a thing that Anthony might do every Saturday night or every Friday night. That's also, I've got my sister coming over with her girls, and we're going to be playing board games tomorrow night. So I'll be going from board games to trivia.
Awesome.
It'll be Anthony, Jesse, Blackie, and there's my cat. Nothing like a cat butting my face. Come on. Blackie, me, and Funk. So that ought to be pretty fun. And I'll probably get drunk under the. Oh, come on, man! Now my cat's sticking his paw in my water. But yeah, that ought to be a fun one. It'll be a super late night one. So, and I see Bob says he does, Ed. Let's see. Oh no!
There's some of the options we've got.
Sometimes my cat just likes to harass me. Anthony says, I know I'm losing, Bob, but Anthony probably likes to stop it. Anthony probably likes to take shots. So, and what's the liquor proof have to be, Anthony?
Oh, so this is, I was talking to Zen about the little moss ball domes, but this is one of those Marimo moss ball domes that I like to make.
Well, that's really cool.
I was going to go for a bigger one, but not in this space here.
Let's see. Now, is that from one moss ball? Did you have to glue that to something?
That is. So what I did was I took the cheap mesh sink strainers that you can get 2 for $1 at most dollar stores.
Yep.
And then I opened up the moss ball and glued it right onto there. So it's got something to hold it down in the substrate and kind of dig in there. But it doesn't, you don't have to keep half the moss ball buried. I really like to do the flat ones. Take a piece of mesh and make a flat mat, or take a rock like I did in Escaping for Scraps, and use the Marimo moss, which yes, Priscilla is technically an algae, if she hasn't already said that in the chat. I'm sure she will. I don't know. I love that stuff. That's one of my favorite things to play around and decorate with.
Yeah, it's super cool. Well, now, do you have to make sure that that metal thing is like stainless steel, or what type of metal? Because I've had those things rust.
Well, that's the thing is, you know, back in the old days, we'd put, or I say we, hobbyists would put nails in their tank so that they could rust to provide the iron for the plants.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's, you know, steel is an alloy, which is iron and I forget what else. But
so the plan is to let it rust.
yeah, it's fine if it rusts.
Okay, cool. Well, are you going to have any plants that, like, you know, have red in them or anything? Or
I know you can't really see too well because all of my lighting is on the other side of the monitor here, but you can kind of see the color there. We've got a couple of those. I use most of my better plants, if you will, for the escape that I did with Sean, but I've still got some stuff that'll work.
Now, did Sean give you those plants, or did you have to take your own plant? Oh, you got the plants at the pet store.
I did. Aquatic Marine donated plants, and they donated the substrate, and they donated driftwood. They would have donated the rock, but I actually didn't initially plan on using rock in that particular escape, but we kind of went another direction. Like in the middle of the video, it's like, hey, we're going to do this, and that's what we went with. But yeah, Aquatic Marine was generous enough to donate pretty much anything I needed and asked for that aquascape. So a huge shout out to them. Thank you, Kenny. And I will be saying thank you to them again in my video as well. It comes out with that escape. But I had a couple things at the house that I really wanted to use, so I took them. It's kind of a half and half.
That's super cool. Kenny, there you got a really nice pet store or fish store there. We're both lucky to have good fish stores near us.
Oh, yes.
Oh, one of our local fish stores got hit by a tornado.
Oh, no.
It's called Bermuda Triangle. So Bermuda Triangle got hit by a tornado.
Oh, my goodness.
It didn't get completely wiped out. I was talking to my fish store owner about it yesterday, but he said that it did enough damage that they were going to lose power for a month.
Oh, wow.
And so he basically sold everything, and he's going to relocate to somewhere else. But he's going to reopen in the Chattanooga area, which is cool. So hopefully he had insurance, and it all works out.
I would like to state for the record that I absolutely hate working with this pellet substrate.
Yeah, I concur. That pellet stuff, man, it's kind of for the birds.
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever used the pellets was on this tank right here.
Chewy, no, I have not heard Dr. Kristen Marhaber give a talk. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the chat. I can kind of see my screen.
That's cool. I'm going to take a photo of whatever this shot is that Hat Trick is telling me to get. And if anybody has any suggestions, I'm more than happy to do it. As Anthony said, it has to be 80 proof, 40%. So I don't know where that really lies on different types of drinks. But yeah, that's it. And it can be a 50-50 mix. So I can do like a kamikaze or something to have half lime and half whatever. I think is a kamikaze vodka and lime.
So Hat Trick says you have to make it yourself. So to go into detail a little more about why I don't like this substrate, I don't remember. It was somebody said that they haven't used it, but they don't think they would like it either. It doesn't hold pressure. So if you set a rock on top of it, it just all gets out of the way of the rock. So you have the rock basically is going to sit on the bottom of the tank regardless of what height you want it at. And the same thing with when you're trying to put plants in it, it just wants to move out of the way. It's basically like trying to stack BBs. It really is. They just want to roll. It's it's a bunch of balls. Insert all the goofy comments into the chat now.
Yep. And that was one of the reasons why I think I did well in the competition, because I picked rocks that could hold the BBs up.
Oh, let's be honest. You did well because you glued the roots to the top of the substrate. It looked really cool.
I did do that. That helped too. But I made a mountain, and nobody else made a mountain of BBs.
No, I've used the Fluval stratum for the other escaping video, and I really like that stuff. It was really good to work with, and I've enjoyed it. I'm going to be doing a couple more escapes with it coming up, and I'm looking forward to those.
Dan Slee said, vodka triple sack rose lime. I don't know if that's actually a drink or if it's vodka with some type of rose lime, or if that's, but I took a photo of it and I will figure it out. Okay, let's see. Hat Trick Farm says vodka, lime juice, and orange liqueur. So that sounds tasty. I appreciate it. Does anybody know what a horny toad is? I've had that and it was delicious a long time ago. I don't like peach schnapps anymore. I drank too much of that once.
Isn't that funny how that works? You drink too much of it, and I don't really care for that anymore.
Yeah. So I know that peach schnapps is in a lot of fruity drinks. It tastes just like peach Jolly Ranchers, which I still drink or still eat. But yep. So James, do you know what type of light do you have on there? Does that light is it going to be good enough to grow all those plants?
It should be, in theory. That's one of the things we're testing. This is kind of a long-term review. I know it was the previous plants didn't do well, but the way that these aqueons are built is they have a set of lights under. You can see the light bouncing off my hand there. The lights are all off to the side, on the front and the two sides. I hate that. Every time I go to get in the tank, it's got the touch button there, so I'll be working in the tank, or I'll go to catch fish in the tank, and I turn the light off. It's great that it's there for access purposes, but actually working in the tank, it's really, really annoying. So we will see.
What do you think about that filter?
I do like the little filter. I'm not a huge hang-on back fan, but I mean, it works well for this setup. It's got good flow to it. If you're going to have something hanging out in there, you know, it's all in the water, so there's nothing behind it. So I've actually got this pushed all the way up against this panel back here. So I don't have to have the tank extended out for the filter, and I can actually do everything inside the tank, so to speak.
I like mine, but it makes so much noise. I hate the noise that comes from that little thing.
Huh. Have you cleaned that bottom intake filter?
Nope.
It's got the little pre-filter down here, and I find that if this thing gets clogged up, that's when I start having issues.
I used the thing for like 2 days while it was at the place, and it was just so noisy.
Yeah, well, you got to remember it had all that new setup debris and crap getting sucked in there.
Yeah, I mean, I only have the water in it with the plants, so I've done nothing with mine.
I don't get a lot of noise out of it, but like I said, if that pre-filter starts to get clogged up, I have heard a little bit of issue.
Well, that was interesting how it just pops right out. I'll have to remember that when I do it. Now, how are you going to keep it warm? Are you going to have a heater, or is it going to be shrimp and not worry about heat?
Oh, you already know how my fish rooms are. Currently, this room is sitting at 76 and change. And that's cold for this room. Normally, it's right at 78. So they'll do just fine. Also, there is a hole that I cut in the panel there to get the cords and everything out to the back for the lights. Because this is actually a bookshelf. This is the bottom of a bookshelf that's on my desk. And then my streaming setup is right there. So I just flipped one of my monitors to be over here. But so it actually gets some natural sunlight that comes through. Works really well on the betta bowl. He really likes it. This gets a little bit of natural sunlight, so I get a little bit of algae buildup over here. But the temps have been staying just fine.
That's awesome. It's a neat little fish tank. I enjoy it, or I'm going to enjoy it.
I like it. I really do. I really want to like it. As long as I can get the lights to grow plants, I'll really like it. Realistically, even if I have to throw one of those little $15 Aquanates on, the little clip-on ones that you have, it's still worth it, you know? So, but I think the big issue that I'm having is where all the lighting is around the edges and not in the center, per se, if you will, even though the light scatters and all that great stuff, and it refracts and it bounces and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, my problem with the fish tank is I lost the power cord. So I have a great big, like 44-inch light sitting on top of that and a 10-gallon. And hang on, I got a cat that wants in. Say something interesting, James.
Something interesting, James. All right, so basically what I'm doing here is I took some plant weights and split them down the middle to make them thinner, and I'm using those to attach the Anubias. You could glue it. You could also use fishing line. I've done both of those different ways, but I like the plant weights because they can go on there. Of course, you could cut off fishing line, but these will be really easy to take off once the oh, pretty kitty, once the roots have kind of attached themselves to the wood.
Okay. And now the cat wants down. I knew that wouldn't last long. Of course, now he's just going to. Oh, now he's going to want to try to eat the fish foods.
Right.
Oh, the cats drive me crazy. I don't know if anybody has any more. Haven't seen any real questions lately. They do. My cats. I mean, they never bother with the fish food when it's sitting on a table or something or next to a fish tank. But apparently, as soon as it's next to my computer, it's game on. They all want it. They're goofy. That one, though, this one here, it doesn't even beg for food. It's just normally it just eats cat food. But the one that was trying to open all the bags earlier, man, he begs for everything. Oh, yeah, I know. You'd think that they would be going after that stuff. I wonder what that's even made of. Yeah, like I say, it looks like sawdust, so it didn't really interest them. The first thing is mill. Cod liver. Ugh.
Oh, yummy. Good stuff.
It's okay. 34% omega fatty and acid, herbs. It sounds like a bunch of stuff I don't think the cats would like. It's 12% krill. I tell you though, the cats all like watching me feed the puffer because they see those shrimp, and I think they think the shrimp look pretty good. Once that puffer gets big enough, I think I'm going to try the frozen. I think it's called Chad. It's like frozen minnows, and see, it's like in a block form. Have you ever seen that, James?
Sorry, what was that?
The sheets of feeder minnows. They're frozen. I think they're called Chad.
I feel like I have.
But
seems like I've seen that somewhere.
They're about 2.5 to 3 inches long, and I just think that might be a little too much for my puffer right now.
Right.
Oh, Candy's going to bed.
Candy, have a great night.
For coming.
Thank you for all you do. We appreciate you. Get you some rest. You deserve it.
All my mods are super awesome. Thank you guys all for all that you do. I really, really appreciate it.
Silver sides. Yeah, if you were talking about silver sides, I mentioned those earlier. I've got some of those that I feed to that tessellata eel.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the silver on the side of my head. I was like, okay. It must be time to shave it off again. But no, what were you talking about? Silver sides? Is that a white?
No, silver sides are a frozen fish, like a feeder fish type thing.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know where I got shad from.
I mean, shad is a fish, and it's like a big fish, so I could see it being a feeder fish potentially.
But yeah, I don't know if Bob's ever fed his fish that. Bob's the king of frozen foods. So I try to emulate as much of his style as I can because it makes the fish happy.
Do what Bob does.
Yep. But I would like to give her something other than just these little krill. Or, well, they're jumbo krill, but I don't know. I'd like to give her some fish too. She would enjoy it. And when I say that, I was talking frozen. Yeah, I can't wait to see Jess Shrimp Granny. Oh, she's going to do a live stream in 30 minutes. That's awesome.
I love it.
Yes, that makes me happy. So I'll be sticking around to see that for sure. And Bob says no to the silver sides. They must not be silver sides. They must be something else.
Have I mentioned
Bob
I
tried
don't like
to
this substrate?
You're going to change the substrate?
Oh, I was just saying, have I mentioned I don't like it?
Yeah. You know what? Can you cap it?
I could. I'm not going to right now. If I had done this for like a video, I probably would have. I've got like, I don't know how many pounds of frugal stratum. I've got a big old bag of it. Oh, I see this duckweed.
And you know what? That was another thing that I cheated at was during our live stream. I was like, or not live stream, during our competition. It wasn't a cheat because you were allowed to bring your own props or like things in to help build it. And I had seen where Sean Peck uses a spray bottle to keep his substrate wet. And I mean, everybody thought it was just for keeping the plants wet, but I really loaded it down on the little BBs so they would stay a little better in place. And I think that helped too.
It does. It definitely helps. That's why I've got I kept a couple inches of water in the tank specifically for that reason.
Oh, Bob says that I bet you he's talking about the silver sides. They're big for a lot of large marine fish too, but they're unhealthy. So, yeah, I don't know what the frozen things are. You know what, Brad? I had to throw out a lot of the guppy grass because the tank that I used to give people the guppy grass out of, fish, I found that I kept 5 female virgin guppies in there, and they got worms. And I didn't want to send anybody the guppy grass from that tank. So basically, it's been I need to scalp like all the duckweed, and I just bought a container yesterday for it. I bought a $5 tote. I don't know if it's 2.5 by 2, and I'm going to fill it with water and put the guppy grass in there, and I try to get the duckweed to come off it because I don't want to send people duckweed. I sent some of, or not duckweed. Duckweed. I don't want to send that. I want to send guppy grass, and I sent, Griff. I sent Griff's fish room some, and he said he got duckweed in his tanks, and because of me, and I felt really bad. So that's what's been a hold up. And if it would have just been one person, but I have like 7 people that want the guppy grass, so it's a lot of work. But I did just get the tote, and so I plan on doing that either tomorrow or Saturday. And yep, that's the plan for the next couple of days. I'm going to be doing that while I transport fish to the new tanks. So yep, I've got to do that. Okay. I was going to say, I think Catfish Farms is going, but nope, she was just saying goodbye, I guess.
You're going to have to run the chat more often, Ed. You do a fine job, sir.
Oh, gosh, I don't know. Does anybody else have like a favorite food? I mean, we could. Oh, there's Diego. He's here. Hey, Diego. Yep. And you know what? I just bought my first bottle of Tetracolor granules from Diego from his website. So I'll actually be getting some. But actually, I'm going to be giving it away as a gift to someone. So I'm still I'm still not going to use it. It's a gift. But yeah. Derek is eating ice cream. Oh, okay. Dragon Lair says that he likes the extreme food. And John said he was going to give me a bunch of it or a big container of it at the big fish deal, but then he didn't show up because of the flu. And I never got any of that extreme. Have you ever used it, James?
I have not, but if they want to sponsor me, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of waiting to see when I meet up with John, he'll give it to me next time. So I'm terrible, but it looks exactly like the Omega-1 flakes. So, and I've got 10 pounds of Omega-1 flakes, so that's why I'm not going to buy it, but I'll take it for free and try it.
I'm no aquascaper, but I would like to explain this tank is not intended to be viewed from the front. It's intended to be viewed from basically this corner because that's where I look at it from. So that's why I've got it shifted sideways like that.
I like it. It looks like you're going like walking towards a rainforest, or maybe an island.
I thought I was going to reuse all the grass that was in here that was kind of alive still. But with this substrate, it's so hard to get it to stay without super gluing it to the top, which is not viable for the roots. I just said the heck with it, so I had to redo some things. I had to change the plan.
Then Ginger says that she likes the tropical bug bites and Hikari micro pellets. And then she also said, let's see, where did she say? Oh, she uses the extreme peewee pellets for her little creatures. So she's using a lot of micro pellets. I wonder what she's doing with all those micro pellets do. And Derek uses Northfin and Cobalt. So Derek, out of the different types of Cobalt, what do you use? And I know there's also some more flavors than this, but I like how Cobalt has different color lids for all the different flavors. Uh-oh, can't hear James. James went link dead, or no? Oh, he muted. But I find the green top stuff is the best. Petzotics likes Omega-1 is good. And that's Omega is what I love. Oh, but he's still waiting for the rep to start carrying it. Man, he needs to get a hold of you because that'd be crazy to not have you selling his stuff. That'd be just crazy. Okay. The Tetracolor. I have not tried that yet. I did leave one container down in the basement. Someone bought it for me, and I refused to give it to my fish. I figure I'll just keep it in case the pandemic actually happened and I couldn't leave the house for 2 years and I ran out of other fish food. But it's the Walmart flakes for goldfish. And it just looks so rough that I just don't want to give it to my goldfish. I don't even have goldfish, to my fish. I would like to know what Priscilla likes to feed her fish. And like somebody from a pet store, what do you do? Like, do you feed all the different fish different stuff, or do you just go with one major thing for everything? And Scott likes the Northfin. Yeah, the only Northfin that I actually have are these. I don't know if they sell a lot of Northfin around me. I don't go out of my way to look for it, but when I do see it, I've at least those I used to get it all the time for the fish that used to enjoy those. So I should probably give them to James, or I don't know if Bob has plecos that like that stuff. Maybe I could give them to Bob. Lefty would like it if you sent him some of that Tetra stock. Diego. Oh, she feeds the stuff that she gets free from the pet store. She is in Priscilla. Sorry, Priscilla. and it's the Tetra Flakes and the Sierra Flakes. I wonder, is it this stuff that I spilled all over my keyboard tonight, Priscilla? Because the fish do seem to like it quite a bit. Oh, wow. Diego really wants the Omega. So, man, they need to talk to you soon. But personally, I feel the Northfin and PE.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. I don't know what PE is. What does PE stand for?
What's the context?
Priscilla likes. Oh, you know what? I also do have some Northfin shrimp pellets for shrimp. So I do have some of that, and I do have some Shrimp King pellets also for my shrimp. So I'm wondering if Priscilla's the PE is another shrimp food that I don't know what it is. And Diego, we didn't think that we thought that Tetra is bad, but we totally understand. And keep buying it from him because we like it, and we like Diego.
We do like Diego. He's an awesome guy. Go back to the first Fishy Monday Fun Day live stream and you'll see the unboxing I did of a food order from Diego. I think I had 30 or so, maybe more different types of food in there, since we're talking food.
Yeah, you know, I need to start waking up earlier and making sure that I get on those things live.
I never expect you to be there.
Yeah, because I have such a busy schedule.
Yes.
Yeah. No, my problem is I stay up too late talking to all you guys all night long, and then I sleep too long in the mornings. So I miss Rax and James's day shift. Well, basically the day shift crew. And now Big J is starting to do a day show. It's about 2:30 Eastern, I think, on Mondays also. So Mondays are going to start filling up during the day. Some good content there.
What he's been doing is he actually moved up a little bit. He's buttoned up into mine so we can just roll straight into him. So Mondays I do a 12:30 to 1:30, and then he does 1:30 to whenever he feels like Eastern Standard Time.
That's awesome.
Shit, you never know where we'll be for Fishy Monday Fun Day. Might be somebody's fish room, might be a pet store, might be out in the yard working on a project. We do have Detroit Shrimp and Aquatics going to be on Saturday Night Fever. Assuming that plans don't change, Bob from Steamfod Aquatics will be the following Saturday. Trying to think what else we've got scheduled. Got some other stuff. Peck Tech will be on at some point. We haven't scheduled that one.
Yep.
So look at this betta. I've got the piece of filter over here that goes in the tank that's filling up. And now he's going to move, but he was laying sideways on top of it, just kind of chilling like it was one of those betta leaves.
Now, has anybody figured out if you take a female one and a male one, will you actually get the glow bettas from the babies?
I don't know. I know somebody had some babies. I think they were half and half glow and half not, but I don't know for certain.
That's really interesting. I don't know if anybody knows.
Yeah, Lefty 3213 Aces. Legally, we cannot discuss that, Ed.
Yeah, but I'm not monetized, so it's all good. Actually, still, those guys are probably so big, I still can't talk about it. They'll be knocking on my door in a half hour.
If they accidentally made babies, that's.
I would imagine it's a Japanese company, isn't it? I think the Japanese are the ones that are really into changing all the genetics and doing all that stuff. I mean, I don't know who's seen it, but they've even done it to cats. So the cats will glow. It's kind of rough, man. I mean, the cat looks normal during the day, but
Good
you
night,
put a
Brad.
backlight under it, and the cat has like a glow. It's weird.
Mr.
I'm not
Fisher, have a good night.
do it. I'm not saying buy anything or do whatever. I have no stakes in the game. And you know what? I don't know why this. Skype just popped a thing up, but it went away. Oh, okay. Well, Priscilla says they can have babies. I just can't sell them. So there you go. But yeah, James, we're gonna have to get you a black light so we can see what he looks like.
Oh, I'm not blacklighting my glow better.
I know. I just wanted to say that.
I think he looks cool enough with regular light.
I just don't get it because betas are so cool. There's so many I like brighter colors. And I mean nothing personal toward yours. Boy, that fish tank filled up fast. Oh wow. Zen says that glowfish were now he's not even here to hear this. But that's really neat. I didn't know that they were a Texas company. Did you know that glowfish were originally a Texas, or one of them was a Texas company? Or maybe the glowfish?
Now that I'm back, were you talking smack about my betta?
No, I was talking about the. Zen said that the glowfish was a Texas company. Which is well, I mean, yeah, I think it's cool whenever Americans have companies. I probably should stop talking about glowfish because I don't want people. It's like the things that you don't talk about are politics, religion, and glowfish.
Right.
So, and yep, I don't know what else. How did we get down this wormhole? Yesterday, guess what I bought, James?
What'd you buy?
I bought a relay, I think is what it's called.
Okay.
What it is I put one Ethernet cable into it, and it will pop out like a octopus, and I can connect as many other computers to it as I want.
Oh, very nice.
So it's not going to be necessarily good for the cell phones, which I was hoping, but at least it's going to be easier because I already have my DSL broadcasting through the house.
Right.
So it would be more confusing. He was the guy that was selling the stuff to me that would set up another relay in my house, or not relay, a broadcast type modem thing. So that's what I'm going to do. And so I'll be able to have internet hopefully next week in my fish room. That'd be really cool. Yep. Yeah, I was pretty happy about that. And it didn't cost me $1 million either.
Right.
Boy, and I was planning on going to bed right after this, but now I'm going to have to check out Jess's show. Because
I wish you could actually see the colors on him. He's got a really bright yellow to him. Of course, you're not going to be able to.
Maybe if we put a black light on him, it'd be brighter.
No. I mean, I'm sure it probably would be, but I'll send you some pictures of him. He's actually really bright red and bright yellow without the black light on him. It is cool looking fish. There's that tank. It's done. Got it done and full, and there's
We got all the wonderful little bubbles everywhere.
He's swimming around like he can see too. I've heard, people saying that they can't see very well.
Yeah, I have heard that. This one doesn't do anything indicative of being blind. If it is blind, it has certainly adapted well.
Good job on getting rid of those bubbles.
Thank you. That's one of my favorite tricks, is just to use the old squirter. You usually got it handy anyways for dosing the prime or whatever water conditioner. So
Lefty says he honestly thinks that blowfish look better without the black light. I think the plants probably prefer having normal light.
So the Aqueon Cube that we just quote unquote escaped, of course, has the Aqueon lights, which are LEDs. The Beta actually has the LEDs off of, I'm not going to point straight at it, but you can see there's two fixtures there. I took the LEDs off of a 10-gallon lid and popped them up in there and attached them. So, and of course, like I said, he gets some daylight as well. But let me see if I can get you a shot of that. Can you see? Yeah, you can see the bubbles off the front dividing as they hit. The filter's got really good flow to it.
Yeah, it really does. And yours is mine. Maybe there's a pebble or a piece of plastic or something in mine.
Possibly.
But yeah, I mean, I'll have to take mine apart and see, because it's really annoying. But yeah, everybody, in 2 minutes, Jess comes on, so that's going to be awesome at 2:30 Eastern, whatever time that is in California. And tomorrow, Anthony's Fishy Friends will be having his trivia drink-off game, which I am invited and going to be there and do my best. So, do you have anything you want to plug, James?
Go see me on the Peck Tech channel Sunday. Check out the second half of that. And I don't know, if you sign up to be a member on my channel, you get sneak peeks of cool stuff like that.
Yeah, that's super cool. What about, are you going to be doing a stream on Saturday?
Yes, we got Saturday Night Fever, 7:30. Of course, Chattanooga Ed will be there with me. We're going to have Detroit Shrimp and Aquatics as our special guest, so we can talk more shrimp. And then at this point, Bob Stiegenfott is going to be the next Saturday guest.
Awesome. I've been hearing some crazy rumors about him.
Right. He's not shipping fish for the co-op.
Oh, okay. You heard that rumor too?
No, but he addressed it right off on his live stream earlier.
Okay. But I think the co-op is going to start shipping live fish. If you go to their website, it says live fish is a choice. So that's interesting. Now, Sean Peck doesn't have an actual release time. He does mostly just videos that he releases.
It's midnight.
Okay, so he normally tries to always put it out, but just try to pay attention, and he's definitely worth it. Anybody who's ever watched him is awesome.
Yeah, Peck Tech always releases at midnight because he's got a big European following. So that's a good time for them to watch it, and then we get to wake up to it first thing in the morning. Unless you're one of us awesome late night people, in which case we get to watch it at midnight too, with the Europeans.
Yeah, I didn't realize I was watching it that late.
All right, well,
yeah, thank you, Mod, so much for all your great work that you guys did tonight, and thank you everybody for hanging out and spending the time with us and having a good time. And let's all go over to Jess's channel and just wish her well and thank her for coming back. And thank you, James, for hanging out with me tonight.
Absolutely, I enjoyed it. Thank you for having me with you.
Bet. See you guys in a minute.
Take care.